Because I think one of the comforting things for people who, when they hear the word evangelize, they kind of get scared because they think it's about standing on a street corner on a soapbox and reading the Bible and doing those things, because that is a lot of people's comfort zone, getting up and sharing there. But everybody should have their own personal testimony ready to go at any time. But I think what's comforting to me is that within the body of Christ, we're all called to share the gospel in different ways, depending on how God created us. So me being an introvert, he's not going to call me to be a Billy Graham evangelist or things like that. He may, but it's comforting to know, I guess, that the strengths that he has given me, the personality he's given me, is exactly what he needs to fill into the voids of what other people can't do. So we're all called to evangelize, and that's very apparent. But it's going to look different to everybody because of the different people around, our different personalities, and our different strengths. Do you agree with that?
This is part of the problem that we have in our society, because people want the easy way out, and people want to do things without the commitment that Christ really calls for us, which is to lay down our lives, lay down our own selfish ambition, pick up our cross, and follow him. And we've kind of reduced evangelism to something it's not, because we have taught people since, when I first became a Christian in the early 70s, evangelism was taught as this information that if I can get this in your head, then you can, it's a transfer of information, where the Bible tells us that we're not saved through our minds, but we're saved when we believe in our hearts. Yeah. And that's a whole different thing. And the world that I was in the 1970s, I could go to a laundromat, or I could go to a park, and I would sit down and I would meet someone, and I would just say, well, I'd strike up a conversation. I'd say, well, can I just tell you my story, what happened to me? And sure, and you would talk, and God could convict. And I saw people who gave their hearts to Christ through that, because everyone doesn't have that gift of being able to talk, but some people do. Yeah. But those days are gone. We don't walk in a society right now that has a respect for God, to whereas people would go, okay, I know I'm not living for God, but I know I should be. Somebody's going to speak about the Bible. I know I might not be living that, but it would be really bad to say something against. We don't live that way. We have people who challenge it openly and are skeptical. As soon as you tell them a Christian, they're skeptical about you. So I think what God has done is, with our affluence and with everyone, the Christian culture that we had, where it was easy because people were brought up with the respect, that's vanished, where we're kind of like in the New Testament. We're thrown to the wolves out here. And we better be able to be wise as serpents and harmless as doves and live with that character of Christ. But every single person is called to be light. Every single person is called to be salt. And very few of us, as a matter of fact, I think more and more of the people who are called to be that voice are less and less effective, because what makes it effective is the weight of the life underneath it, whether it's someone in the congregation or experience with the person. It's rare, it's a lot rarer for me to see people who are converted because of just something that was said than someone converted because of relationships that we have within our church.
Yeah.